This lecture will help you to understand the importance of Sanger sequencing and how does Sanger sequencing work. So Sanger sequencing is also known as chain termination method, which was developed by English biochemist Frederick Sanger and his colleague in 1977. So why this method is commonly used? This method is designed for determining the sequence of unknown piece of DNA. Unknown piece of DNA, so that we can study on that segment of DNA or a gene. So Sanger sequencing with 99.9% base accuracy is considered as the gold standard for validating the DNA sequence. So what are the requirements of the process? So first is the template DNA, the DNA that is to be sequenced. Second is DNA primer. Third is DNA polymerase and DNTPs, ATGC, and fifth is DDNTPs. So they labeled with some fluorescence tag. Fluorescence tags, okay. So what is the importance of DDNTPs? So the structure of DDNTP is like at third prime you will be a H, not OH. So this H will prevent the further addition of DNTPs, okay. So what will happen in case of normal NTPs? You will have OH. So it will form the phosphodiester bond. But in case of DDNTPs, it will not form phosphodiester bond, and therefore DNA polymerase incorporate a DDNTP. So does the process is ceases or the extension or elongation ceases. Sanger method is simple and elegant. DNA that is to be sequenced is hybridized with the oligonucleotide primer. What is happened? The DNA sequence first is denatured into single strand, then it is hybridized with the oligonucleotide primer. This should be 3' to 5' template, and the primer will be 5' to 3'. Okay, so the new strand synthesized from its 5' and virtually the first DNA to be made complementary to the DNA to be sequenced. So the sequence I will get after primer, this one, it is the complementary to the DNA to be sequenced, जिसका हमें sequence निकालना है. So one of the DNTP must be radioactively labeled with 32 phosphorus or 35%, so the newly synthesized strand would be labeled. So these are the process steps, the Sanger sequencing method steps. So first will be the denaturation of double stranded DNA. So the double stranded DNA will be denatured first into single stranded DNA, then addition of the complementary primer. So the single stranded DNA will to the oligonucleotide primers in elongated using a mixture of DNTPs to build a new double stranded structure. So the primer will with DNA polymerase and DNTP and DDNTPs, it's extended forming a double stranded structure. DNA. So this will be the template DNA, first one, 3' to 5', and this will be a complementary DNA sequence. This will be 5' to 3'. This is 3' to 5'. Small quantity of chain termination dideoxy nucleotide triphosphate also included in some molar ratio. Mostly the DDNTPs are in lower concentration than DNTPs. DNTPs are in more concentration. So the sequence will continue to extend with DNTPs until a DDNTPs attach. So there is a equal chance of attaching to the sequence. So the sequence we are getting are of varying length. Like some get 2 base pair, 3 base pair, like more base pair length of sequence fragment. So each DDNTPs have a fluorescence marker. So when DDNTP is attached to the elongated sequence, the base with fluorescence based on the associated nucleotide. So then the resulted DNA fragments are denatured into single-stranded DNA and then separated by gel electrophoresis. A, T, G and C, and you will get some sequence like T, A, C, T, G and A. So the lowest one will be the first fragment to become A, T, A, C, T, G and A. So this is second one, this is third, fourth, fifth and sixth. So this is the smallest one. So this is the sequence. First we have to read the sequence from the bottom, like T, A, C, T, G, A. So this is the fragment of the complementary one. The DNA that is complementary we have elongated. So this is not a sequence of the DNA of the template DNA. So we have to find the sequence of the template DNA. So A is complementary to T, C complementary to G, T complementary to A, G complementary to C and A is complementary to T. So this will be the sequence of the template DNA. Okay. I want to tell you, in manual Sanger sequencing, you have to do 4 PCR run. Like you have 4 tubes and you will add single DNTPs in each. Like you have add D, ATP here and either C, then G and then T. Okay, so you will then separately run 4 separate lanes. Okay, like A, T, G and C. Okay, separate lanes we will have in electrophoresis. But in automated sequencing, what is happening actually? You have a capillary electrophoresis in automated. Okay, you have a capillary gel electrophoresis. So the all DNTPs will be mixed actually in a single reaction, and each DNTP have unique fluorescence level, like different color level. Okay, like A with blue and C with green and T with black or G with some orange. So it will show different colors of bands. Okay, So what will happen actually in automated Sanger sequencing, the computer read each band of the capillary gel in order using the fluorescence to call the identity of each term with the ddNTPT. So what is happening, a laser will excite the fluorescent tag in each band and computer detect the light that is emitted, and you will get the fluorescence peak of each nucleotide. Like say if it is blue, so it is A. Like say it is red, it is red, then it is maybe T. Okay, so like this you will get different fluorescence peak, different colored fluorescence peak, okay, to find out the sequence of the template DNA. And this output is actually we called as chromatogram. Okay, but in manual Sanger sequencing, what is happening actually, in manual sequencing, the user read the 4 lanes. We will have to read the 4 lanes like this. You have to read 4 lanes. Okay, so moving bottom to top, so we have to read the sequence from bottom to the top like this, G A G C, like this. Okay, and the complementary sequence will be the template DNA sequence. Okay, so it will be rising from the first nucleotide from the 5' end of the original sequence, have a guanine base like this. Okay, so we have to we have to read the sequence in manual Sanger sequencing from the lower to bottom to the top. So the advantages of Sanger sequencing is it can also detect the point mutation and some small deletion and duplication which are present in the gene. Limitations: the most currently available Sanger sequencing tests are gene specific or analyze a small subset of genes. You can read or go through this book for more briefing of Sanger sequencing method.